We talking in English.
All right, yeah, let's switch. What's on your mind?
I will send you a topic.
All right, send it across. I'm ready. One moment. Let me look. Interesting one. It focuses less on Israel specifically and more on how AI knowledge can be shaped. The reported fact is that a think tank published a lot of reports with funding from the Israeli government, but there's no evidence that major AI models have used it. What it does highlight is how easy it is to create content that looks like independent research, which AI systems could encounter. The real question is not about one country, it's who gets to shape what AI reads and how do we guard against subtle influence.
What does mean the think tank?
A think tank is an organization that does research and analysis on policy issues like economics, foreign affairs, or social issues. Ideally, they provide independent, data driven analysis, but in practice, some have funders or agendas that can shape their work.
I I don't totally get any information from this news. What does it mean?
Yeah, no problem. Here's a simpler way of looking at it. A group made a lot of reports about a contentious political topic. Those reports were funded by a government but presented as independent. And there's no proof that ChatGPT or others used them. The broader point is anyone can publish lots of professional looking stuff online, and that raises a question about how AI systems decide what's reliable. It's about information quality and influence, not a confirmed change in what AI says.
Say contents, politics.
Kind of.
This the topic is that we know the topic was not met by ChatGPT.
1 second. Yeah, that's right. This news is about a political topic, but it's not showing that ChatGPT was actually influenced. It's more like a could this happen someday question. How do we keep AI from being swayed by lots of coordinated content? So you could frame it as this is a discussion about safeguards and source quality, not a claim that ChatGPT has been changed or biased by that content.
I still don't totally get this news. Can you expression in Chinese?
我用中文简单说一下，这条新闻主要不是说 ChatGPT 已经被影响了，而是说有一个机构用政府资金发布了很多看起来像独立研究的文章，内容涉及以色列和巴勒斯坦的话题，这引发了一个更广泛的担心：如果有人大量发布看似可信的内容，未来会不会影响 AI 学到的东西？但目前没有证据表明主流 AI 已经使用或依赖这些内容，所以重点是信息质量和防范风险，而不是已经发生了什么。
So we need to attention is the information may affect the AI reference and then
That,
to
yeah,
affect the
exactly.
user of the AI.
Let's check that. Yes, that's a good way to think about it. Just tweak the wording a bit. It's not about use of AI by people. It's about how information online could affect what AI ends up referencing or learning from. So, for example, you might say, if the internet is full of coordinated or misleading info, that might influence what AI cites or how it answers. That's the concern, not that it's already happened.
We move to the next topic.
One moment. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. Share the next item. Let me check. This one's a bit easier than the last one. Basically, researchers looked at how people use AI, but they filtered out a lot of conversations, nearly half, because they were sensitive, like health or relationships. And the point is, if you remove that much data, the report might not show the full picture of how people really use AI.
I have some of the words don't be familiar, like the concept or the disproportionately. What does that mean?
Let me check something. Of course, no problem. So, Consented means the users gave permission for their chats to be studied. The other word I think you mean is disproportionately, which means a larger share than normal. So here it means that among the conversations they threw out, a lot were about health, relationships, and so on. In short, the study looked only at chats people agreed to share, but the filtering removed a lot of sensitive topics.
So this news is let me know this AI company can totally watch the sentiment in their back end.
Let me check that. That's a really good question. It's not saying that AI companies read all private chats. This study used conversations that people agreed to share for research. So it's not about secret monitoring, it's about how the published reports filter data. Some conversations may be reviewed or studied if users give permission, but that's different from watching everything by default. The key message here is about data selection, not surveillance.
So how to watch this news give us 的启发呢？
One moment，我觉得有3点使用的启发。第一，不要只看结论，也要看研究是怎么筛选数据的。第二，关注隐私，了解你用的服务是怎么处理对话的。第三，看统计数据时，多问一句：哪些人被算进去了，哪些没算？用英文在博客里，你可以说：The main takeaway is data filtering can change the conclusions, so we should pay attention to methodology, not just the headline numbers. 这里 methodology 就是研究方法，往往和结果一样重要。
Oh, okay. We move to the next topic.
One moment. Sure, let's move on to the next topic. Send me the next. One moment. This one's pretty relevant to you. Here's a simple breakdown. Cursor is an AI coding editor. Now it also wants to be a place where developers host and manage their code. You can still sync with GitHub, which can remain the source of truth. That means GitHub is your official version. The big question is whether developers really want everything inside one AI tool or prefer separate tools. For companies, there are also security, governance, and cost questions. One sentence summary you can say is, Cursor is moving from an AI coding editor to a full code hosting platform, aiming to keep more of a developer's workflow in one place.
So do you think about the origin can be the AI area GitHub?
Let me check on that. In a way, yes, that's what they're aiming for. GitHub is for hosting code, while Cursor wants to be an AI native place where you write, host, review, and let AI help build. But right now, Cursor isn't trying to replace GitHub fully, since it still syncs and treats GitHub as the source of truth. A natural phrasing in English for your question could be, do you think Origin could become the AI era version of GitHub? That's a fair way to put it.
I still don't have any obvious feel about what exactly the origin than the GitHub.
One moment. That's a good question. The reason it doesn't feel obvious is that Origin doesn't add a totally new thing. It tries to put everything in one place. Today, you might write in Cursor, push to GitHub, do reviews on GitHub, then go back to Cursor for AI help. With Origin, the pitch is that you can write, store, review, and have AI help all in one workflow. Think of GitHub as Google Drive for code, and Cursor wants to be more like Google Docs with AI built in. Whether that's better depends on if you value everything in one window or prefer GitHub's mature ecosystem. For large teams, GitHub's permissions and compliance are hard to beat. For solo devs, all in one might be convenient. A simple way to say it is Origin's advantage isn't replacing GitHub yet, but reducing context switching by keeping coding and AI in one place.
The origin is totally the AI native what exactly the appearance in the net like the more friend for the agent, not the human programmer?
One moment. Yeah, that's getting at the heart of it. AI native doesn't mean it's built for AI instead of humans, but that AI is treated as a normal member of the workflow. On GitHub, people write code and AI is an add on. In an AI native flow, the agent can create branches, write code, run tests, open pull requests, and the human reviews. So the human is still in charge, but the AI is an active teammate rather than just a helper. That's the long term vision. Whether people all want that is still an open question.
Okay, thank you for joining today the podcast.